Welcome back, my sweet tooth. Welcome to my very first story time. This short story time, I'm going to be telling you all my journey through my culinary art world. My struggles, my ups and downs, what I had to go through, and I'm going to be doing it in a 10-minute segment. So each taping is going to be 10 minutes, and you got to stay tuned if you want to know how the end of the story goes. So it's a good encouragement for someone who's probably trying to do the same thing that you're doing, and YouTube is a good platform to tell your story. So I'm naming this chapter 1 Birmingham. Now, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I moved here when I was 18 years old. I graduated May 23rd, 2004. Yeah, I'm that old. And I moved here June 23rd, 2004. Now, I came here because I was trying to get out of Atlanta, just wanted to move somewhere different, but I didn't want to be too far. I didn't want to go to North Carolina or South Carolina, even though I had family there. I had been there pretty much my whole entire life. So I wanted to do something new, didn't want to go to Mississippi, knew people here in Alabama, so I said, hey, why not? Let's go to Alabama. And it was also for other reasons too. So came here June 23rd, going to a 2-year college for cooking. So did my cooking degree at Virginia College, which there's no more Virginia College now. That's a long story, so we're not going to get into it. But anyway, so did that and started to work at some restaurants. Didn't have a car. My first restaurant job was in Birmingham, was the Sheraton downtown. Worked as a hostess, so I still wasn't in the kitchen. Then went to Chili's in 2005. Started working there as a hostess. Still wasn't in the kitchen. Then after that, I believe I want to make sure I got my timelines right. Wait a minute, I gotta cut that out. Anyway, 2007 was working in different country clubs. Finally in the kitchen. I'm like the pantry chef, so I'm making all the salads, all this other stuff, whatever. So worked all these jobs, decided that I wanted to move back to Atlanta in 2007, and stayed in Atlanta for like a week working at a catering company, and decided I wanted to move back to Birmingham because I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to, that traffic was too much. The people were not the same when I was growing up. People had their own thing going, a little hostile, well not hostile, but uppity, sedity, whatever. So I was like, no, I'm gonna go back where my friends, they love me, going back to Birmingham and whatnot. So in 2007, I bought my first house. Bad mistake because I was 21 at the time, didn't know nothing about owning a home, didn't even have a family, it was just me. And as soon as I bought the home, the air conditioning went out. Great. So fast forward, we're not going to talk about any personal struggles, but 2007 is when I moved into my own home. And I was still working at a country club. I was working at Birmingham Country Club. Well, I was working at Birmingham Country Club before I moved to Atlanta, but then came back here and started working at Greystone Country Club. But let me rewind real quick. When I was still in school, I remember, I went to school for culinary arts. And I remember when I had to take the pastry course, I remember telling myself, I'm so glad I did not take this as my major, because the baking course at Virginia College, it was a really good course, but it was you had to measure the flour and measure the sugar. And here in the United States, I think we're on the metric system. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me down in the comments. But, the other countries, they use another form of measuring. We, I believe, still use the metric system. Anyway, so it was easy for me to measure cups, sugar, cups of sugar, cups of flour, 2 sticks of butter. No, in school we had to weigh everything, and I'm not going to sell dope anytime soon. So anyway, with that being said, I was glad I didn't take any pastry. Now let's fast forward to 2007. When I got the house, I was working 2 jobs. I was working in a Waffle House too, yay, in the kitchen, and then I'm working at a country club. So I'm in the kitchen. So finally, I decided that I was going to drop the Waffle House because they had gotten robbed, which was the craziest thing because I overslept that night. And so I was 30 minutes late for work, and end up that they had gotten robbed at the Waffle House. So when I asked them what happened before I even got out the car, they was like, oh, we got robbed. That was all I needed to stop working there, because I really didn't like working third shift. It was just too much. And then I had to go to another job. It was just too much. Anyway, so fast forward, went on ahead and quit Waffle House, worked at the Greystone Country Club. I decided to do a cleaning service. Worked at the cleaning service, and one weekend I said to myself, oh, I'm gonna go back to Atlanta with my homegirl and we're gonna have fun. Okay, bet, you grown. So working at Greystone, I think I quit Greystone for some weird reason, and I was working at the cleaning service for some strange reason, because working at Greystone in the kitchen, at least I went for a kitchen job because I went to school to work in the kitchen. But anyway, went to Atlanta that weekend, came back. Not only was I not working at Greystone anymore, but the cleaning service went on ahead and fired me. So I lost 2 jobs in 1 week, and I had to come back to Alabama to pay on a mortgage and a car note. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. But anyway, but with a little faith and hard work, things seemed to work out. So when they told me they was gonna let me go, because really the girl was mad at the fact that I told her I had to leave early and she was trying to make me stay to scrub some more toilets. I don't think so, ma'am. So I left early, came back to Birmingham after my weekend fun in Atlanta, and then it was like, we're not gonna no longer need you. Oh great, I don't have a job. So stayed on the phone for 2 days, flipping through the yellow pages, looking for a job. Came across this bakery that's in Homewood, and they called me in for an interview. Came across another restaurant, which is no longer in the Crestwood area, that's here in Birmingham, and they called me for an interview. Well, let's just put it like this. I got the job at the restaurant Thursday, and they hired me at the bakery that Friday. So I lost 2 jobs in 1 week. I got 2 jobs in 1 week. So this is my first part of my story time. Stay tuned for next week when I do the second part of story time with Kenya Pickens after dinner.
Take a step, look back and see from my perspective. It's a real thin line between love and disrespect. Can we talk about love? What would you do for love?